Throughout life, we can encounter things like falls, hits to our head, sometimes even concussions and car accidents. And these incidents, these encounters that we have, can often misalign the neck. So although we get bumps and bruises, and sometimes we can even get things like knocked out from a concussion, there can be some residual problems in the spine that can lead to symptoms that not only show up at the moment of the injury, but sometimes much further down the road.
When we consider the significant impact that a misalignment of that bone can have, well, we have to understand the anatomy a little bit. So the brain sits up here in the skull, and then the brainstem extends down through the base of the skull right into the ring of the atlas. And if you have a misalignment, a subtle misalignment of the atlas bone putting pressure on the brainstem, now all of a sudden your brain can't communicate with your body, various organs, muscle groups. You can't even have proper control of hormone balance without having all the proper communication come down through the brainstems.
So basically, if you have bad input, the signals from the body aren't coming through clearly and the information is wrong, your brain is going to adapt to that improper information, and the result is going to be a posture that begins to become distorted. We end up with head tilts. We end up with uneven shoulders, even scoliosis and twisting in our spine. And so these things are really the end effect of bad input to the brain over a long period of time. And so one of the things that we see is there can be direct nerve pressure on the spinal cord. We have our brain, which sits inside of our skull, and the brain and all the nerves that go to the body, they bundle together and exit the bottom of the skull through the foramen magnum, which is at the top of the neck. This upper cervical misalignment can also affect blood flow both to and from the brain. Now, as affecting blood flow to the brain, we're talking about the vertebral artery, which goes right through the atlas bone, as well as the carotid arteries, which sit in front of it. And so if it disrupts this blood flow, it can cause a slowing of the blood, and basically the brain can't get the oxygen or the nutrients that it needs to thrive and work properly. Not only does it affect to the brain, but it also affects blood coming from the brain. And by that, what I'm talking about is the drainage of the brain. Within the brain cavity itself, we have our brain and our spinal cord, and surrounding all of that is what we call cerebral spinal fluid. And so a misalignment actually disrupts normal flow, and the fluid starts pounding on the brainstem, and that's where we can get some of these pounding headaches, pressure in our head. Basically, we cannot pressure regulate the brain itself. So you end up feeling it in the eyes, you feel it in the head, you feel it in the neck, and it pounds and it pushes. It's relentless. And so we see that these misalignments can often be the cause and lead down the road of neurodegeneration. And with that, we see conditions like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, even the dementia type symptoms are all very strongly related to an upper neck misalignment. Basically, if you have junk going in, you're going to have junk coming out.
So what we're looking to accomplish whenever we make a correction of your atlas is improved brain-to-body communication that will allow your body to function at a higher level where you need it to be on a daily basis as you face the challenges of your life.
And so this advanced orthogonal procedure is just a comprehensive way of evaluating what's causing your health to not be as good as it should be. Because you're fundamentally designed for health. You were created for it.
But if we can remove interference that's keeping you from obtaining it, then we want to help you in whatever ways we can to get your life back, to be able to spend the time with your family that you want to spend and make it quality time, to be able to work most effectively so you can provide for your family and be able to do those things that bring you joy.
Every bit of your body, every fiber of your body is designed to self-maintain. It's a built-in system. And so when we see health break down over time, we can put together the fact that you should experience something better than that, because the design of the body is for health, and if you're experiencing less than that, we need to find out what is the root cause. If we can pinpoint the cause, we can make a change.